welcome to the New Bucks Head, bathed in sunshine here. 3 games left to go of this conference season. It was 29 games ago, Telford came up against Dartford. On that night, Telford winning by 4 goals to 1 against Dartford. And who would have thought that would have been Telford's last win in the league. Indeed, it has been a far cry, and we now know that Telford are relegated from the conference. But today's another day. The referee is Declan Ford. He is making sure everybody is ready. Kick-off for Telford then. Well, Telford are kicking from our left to right, and they get an early throw-in over towards the corner flag on the far side. Throws it down the line to Stephen Leslie. Good cross in. There's a header from O'Neill and saved. Golden chance for the youngster. And O'Neill's header was saved by the Hungarian goalie, Kasabra Samogi. Good kick on this occasion, high into the Telford half. Smith heading it forward. Briscoe caught the wrong side of the attacker. Dartford have a chance in the far post and score. Well, it's Pryor who scores. It was Sheringham who pulled it in from left to right on the far post. I think Telford have some questions there of themselves with their positioning in defence. So it comes straight back at the Bucks. A swinging ball in from left to right. And now Salmon out of position. Here's Hayes. Back onto his left foot again. Gets his cross in. Good, lovely ball. Good save. May still be a chance in here. And the second save from Ryan Young. Well, it was a brilliant ball in. Pryor should have buried it on that far post. Young got a save. And then the second time of asking, Sheringham's shot was picked off again by Young. Telford's opponents now breaking, but they give it away in midfield. Now Leslie pops up. It's 4 against 4. Leslie onto his right foot, goes for goal! Just wide! A bit of brilliance from Steve Leslie. Onto his left, then did the step over, back onto his right, and he had the keeper scrambling away to his left-hand side, but it was narrowly wide. Telford still trail by a goal to 0. Here's Rooney in the Telford midfield, popping it in behind the Dartford defenders. Spray chasing it down, pulls it back, a chance for O'Neill! Shoots, saved! Good save there by Samogic. O'Neill's had 2 chances, and again, for me, well, out of all the strikers Telford have had this season, he looks very good. Out of that squad when Telford beat Dartford back in October, 7 players now even no longer at Telford or out on loan. There we go, half-time. Telford 0, Dartford 1. Well, we're about to get underway. Second half, it will be Dartford to kick us off. Declan Ford is the referee. And it will be Telford kicking from our right to left. The visitors, though, get us underway. And now it's on to that left-hand side. High ball down that left wing. In midfield, Williams, Rooney, Traynor and Leslie. Up front is O'Neill and Spray. We'll remind you of the starting 11 for Dartford, but they've got a chance onside here. Chance for Sheringham, shoots and scores! Charlie Sheringham scores! Again, Telford's positioning goes to pot. As they look for an offside, Sheringham beat the offside trap. And it's a cool, calm finish past Ryan Young. Telford now 2 goals behind. It was far too easy now. What kind of fight does this Telford team have? Can they bounce back? They are 2 goals down. Dartford going in search of a third here. They've started very brightly in this second half. Now a good ball out to Hayes, dinks it into the far post, a header from a Dart player and away by Briscoe, behind for a corner. Again, 6s and 7s in defence for Telford. Pryor and Sheringham causing all sorts of problems in the Telford box. O'Neill now putting pressure onto the Dartford goalkeeper, who manages to clear it in time, but won back by Spray. Telford have it with Leslie. Here's O'Neill, hits the post! Rooney, over! Well, James O'Neill hits the woodwork. Lovely ball in by Leslie. The defenders themselves for Dartford on this occasion got out of position, and on the half volley, left-footed, O'Neill hits the post. Kept in play on this near right-hand side to Hayes. Hayes dinks it in. Good header, just wide. Superb, strong header there and it's past Telford's left-hand post. It wasn't anything obvious really, Steve, was there?
No. Very innocuous. Very innocuous incident, and there's a spinal board coming out as well. This does not look good at all. Mark Waters, the Deputy Safety Officer here at AFC Telford United, has just brought the spinal board out. Thankfully, it doesn't look like it's going to be needed. They are bringing him off, as you can hear from the applause around us. Just on a normal stretcher.
He's in a lot of pain here, Michael Briscoe. Telford trailing by 2 goals to 0. Bradley heading it forward. Dartford really struggling to get this ball away. Trainer back to Williams. O'Neill, it's like a ball on a piece of string here. Meechin on this left-hand side, into the near post, corner.
Frantic stuff, wasn't it? Dartford just having a little bit of an inquest in their defence now, as Telford prepared to take this corner, asking, I think, how did they not manage to get that ball away better? They had so many opportunities, didn't they, to clear that, and Telford still on the attack with this corner.
6 minutes to go, plus added on time. Meechin's corner, header, goalwards there from Christian Smith, back in again. Dartford again can't clear it, forward, Salmon, Rooney, wide. Fell to Rooney. Well, it's got a deflection on it. I'm slightly surprised by that, and the referee even has a couple of Dartford players going over to him. Taken short, Meechin, back in his second spell, Bradley, to the near post, O'Neill's header, over. Good ball in by Bradley, who by all accounts was slightly nervous on Monday against Forest Green, but today he's slotted in really well.
Yeah, referee Declan Ford looking at his watch. There must have been 4 minutes at least just for that one stoppage that saw Michael Briscoe go off. In fact, he's blowing early. No, he's not. Bang on time.
Well, there we go. Telford have lost by 2 goals to 0 against Dartford.
Yeah, the first goal is, I think the 27 is pulled off the shoulder of Christian Smith, and Christian sort of being drawn to the play on the opposite side. Didn't sort of see him going on his blind side. And it's been a sort of cross-come shot, and it's got to him, and he just slotted in the back of the back post. Where I'm not making excuses for Christian, but he's not a centre back. But to me, that's a basic header that he should have picked up on. And then the second goal, I think it was like 3 minutes into the second half. It's a ball punted forward, and it's in between James Spray and Aaron Williams, and there's a mix-up. One's got to go for it and either flick it on or try and chest it down, and they've both left it to each other. They've got their centre back just come in, and he's just sort of punted it forward with his head, and they've caught us on our heels and broke through and scored. To me, that's schoolboy defending, and whatever level you're playing at, and especially this level, you can't do that, and that sums us up, I think, throughout the season.
The performance seemed to get better when Alex Meechin came on. He had a bit more energy, a bit more hustle and bustle up front. And do you think he made a difference?
I think you're absolutely spot on there. I'm disappointed with my forwards today. Not all the time. Not for the whole 90 minutes. I thought there was great things from James O'Neill. He's learning his trade. He's flicking things on. He took a whack in the first half, and I said to him, welcome to the conference, because you're going to get a lot more of those. He's sort of played through it and got better and better as the game got on. I was disappointed with the 2 more experienced forwards in Aaron and James, but they're going to have bad games. They both played well last week against Forest Green, and they haven't sort of built on that from last week, and I'm disappointed in that.
We must talk about Michael Briscoe. He's been taken away by ambulance to hospital. We saw that he had his left leg that was put into a splint. How's he getting on?
Well, the ambulance have taken him away. He's going to hospital. He heard a crack, and I just spoke with the doctor and the physio, and they do reckon that it's a break of the tibial fibula. Which is,
he's had a horrendous season, hasn't he? Injury-wise, coming back from a back injury, and now to get this. What's the mood like in the dressing room?
Yeah, look, it's a shame for the kid, because I remember the second training session he had with us back in pre-season. He broke his nose, and then obviously had the back injury, and he's had surgery, and now, just as he was getting back into his stride and sort of looking, and like I said, he's one of those that is trying to play for a deal next season, whether it's here or whether it's away, and if he's done that, it's going to set him back, 6 months, a year, and it's a shame, because he's one of those triers, and you know, but that's football, and we all know the risks. And you know, a positive on that is that Ford has come back in, you know, on the bench today, and you know, we wish all the best for Michael, but we sort of get on with it now and finish the season for our last 2 games.
You're starting off your managerial career. It's very tough circumstances. You've got a depleted squad. You've given youngsters a chance. You seem to be relishing this opportunity.
Relishing is a great word. I really am. You know, it's a massive challenge for me. You know. Yeah, the guys there. You know, it's a roller coaster of emotions. You know, from last Saturday against Nuneaton, and then you know the highs against Forest Green. You know, where they had a solid display, and then obviously today we're expecting to make little steps of progress, and we took a little step back today. But like I said, I'm relishing it. I'm enjoying it. You know, it's a tough one. But you know, I've been given a job to do to the end of the season, and that's what I'm doing.